Hi angels, in today's episode I want to really help you get clear on what you want and realize, girls, women, mums, we don't have to do it all. It's okay to ask for support. It's okay to get help with the things that we really feel we can move so much further and so much faster if we don't have to do it all on our own, but we often feel like we have to do everything. And that can hold us back. So I want to share with you as we wrap up the end of this year, just some tools, some exercises that I found myself doing that I thought were really, really helpful that I want to share with you to help you get clear on what you want moving forward. Because I know quite often people don't take enough time to actually pause, dream, journal, reflect on what's working and what's not, and have a think about what they actually want. And that's what I'm going to help you do today, angels. Hi, angels. What a year it has been. I am on the 12th of the 12th today. There was a lot of talk about a 12-12 portal. I don't know a lot about it, but it's the 12th of the 12th. So we're getting to the end of the year, right? We are getting close to Christmas. We are getting close to starting the new year. And I don't know about you, but so many people, me included, have felt exhausted. This has felt like an energy dense, heavy year where so many people have been faced with challenges, feeling like they're fatigued. They've hit the end of the year feeling like they've been hit by a cosmic bus or looked back at the year and gone, what has just happened? Where did that year go? What have I been doing these last 12 months? Like, people are feeling so burnt out, so mentally overloaded, physically in their body, like physically, emotionally, spiritually drained, heavy, just so tired. And I can feel this from experience, from people in my family, from people in my community, through my friends. So many people have felt like something's just happened this year, or particularly at the end of the year, where maybe they've felt they've been hit with circumstance after circumstance or challenge after challenge, and thinking, I thought I was done and I was kind of moving into a new phase, then boom, something else has hit them, or something has happened in their career or in their relationship or just in their body or with their families. And they've just hit the end of this year period thinking, I'm done. I'm so done. When will this year be over? I've seen it in class numbers. I've seen it in people they just don't have the energy to turn up. And often that's what happens, right? Like, you just hit a point where you give up on everything, including the things that are good for you, which is often your health and your wellness and your spiritual practices and your rituals, because it just becomes just too much and it just becomes overwhelming. Or maybe you're finding that you're sleeping in, or you're just really drained when the weekend rolls around. You don't have energy to cook, or you just can't take anymore, or you just feel like you just need change, like something in your life needs to dramatically change. Whatever the circumstance, whatever the situation is, I am sure if you're listening to this episode, you are feeling like something needs to be different and that something needs to change in my life. And maybe I need a little bit of help. Maybe I need a little bit of guidance. Maybe I need to do something different. Maybe you're just sitting in this in-between period of, I don't know what I want, but I know what I'm doing now is not it, or what I'm doing is not working, and I just need some change. But for now, I just can't be bothered doing anything, and I just want to stop and sleep and not wake up or get to Christmas. I want to have a holiday. I want to have a break. And I know many people are feeling like that at the moment. And when I record an episode, I tend to just tune into, I guess, what's happening, what people are feeling, and speak on some of these topics and share with you some, I guess, some relatability. Like, I get it, girls. I am there with you. If it's not happening to me, it's happening to someone in my family, and at the moment, all of us. It's like this kind of rearranging of pieces, like this rearranging in your life, almost like this, I guess, things are just shifting, things are moving, and things just feel unsettling. And people, and myself included, are just really feeling this collective consciousness reset. It almost feels like a reset. It almost feels like this kind of a big shakeup is happening, but you kind of feel maybe a little bit of a knowing or a little bit of a hopefulness that next year is going to be a little bit different, or you feel like some things are stirring up because they need to, change, they need to evolve, they need to grow, you need to get rid of some things in your life. And you just have this feeling like, I can't wait to get to the next year. And I always feel like I feel like this year's been a slingshot year. It's almost like it's a prep. You know, when you're kind of pulling on that slingshot, you're pulling it and you haven't quite let go, and you're ready to fire, you're ready to go, you're ready to hit that momentum, but you're just feeling like you're still kind of holding the slingshot, just ready to like propel you into what is next. That's how I feel. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about today. A couple of things that I've done that have just helped me get a little bit more clarity, help me feel a little bit better, help me find a little bit more peace, help me find a little bit more excitement, and just understand what's going on and how I'm feeling. And I like to share these tools with you because I know that they will help you as well. And for many people, you may have heard like this has been the 2025 year has been like the snake year, where the snake has been shedding. I'll share a little bit about what I've kind of read. I'm not all up on the horoscopes, like the Chinese horoscopes and the energetics behind like planetary alignments and astrology. But I read things and I read bits of information, and then I kind of go, that's interesting, because I just take notice of how I've been feeling or how people around me in my community or my family or my friends have been feeling. And I go, that's interesting. Like, I'm not expert in that field, but I pay attention and I have awareness and I'm open to it. And then I just see how things are showing up in my life. And I know if I look back on the last 12 months, this is kind of how I've been feeling, maybe how you've been feeling, but I wrote down a few things that I read. And it said about 2025 has been that snake year, the shedding year, like the shedding of the skin, right? Where you've peeled away what can't come with you, your old identities, your old cycles, your old beliefs, your old limits. And it's not a breakdown. You might have felt like you've had some challenges or some breakdowns this year, but it's preparing you for a breakthrough, right? And it's a shedding. It's a letting go of the old. So sometimes these things need to be brought to the surface for you to have awareness of them, for you to work through them and release them. And it says that it's been a necessary release of layers that you've kept repeating what your soul has actually outgrown. And I don't know about you, but I've seen lessons resurface in me, in my husband, in family members, in community members, in friends, that I just have been feeling like, why haven't I got it yet? Or, oh my God, this is happening again. I'm just sick of feeling a certain way, and I know I need to make change. And I just get this stirring like, I'm done, I'm ready to change next year. And the horse year for 2026 is like this horse rising year. And it says that it's clean, it's clear, it's powerful, it's liberated. It's the year your momentum returns and life starts moving at the speed of your truth. You've done the shedding and now you rise. So that's kind of a couple of things I read. And I look back on my year and I feel like I've naturally, since Bali, which was in October, I feel this excitement, like I've started to get a little bit of clarity around what I really know I want to do and what I want to implement for myself, for my home, for my family, for my brand, and what I want to do moving forward. But I've been sitting in still the exhaustion, the overwhelm, the busyness of it all, the uncertainty. How am I going to make things happen? How am I going to do this? And so I've kind of been sitting in that all year. I've had lessons that have replayed out where I've like, oh my gosh, this is happening again, really? Just it can be simple interactions, like interactions with my daughter, where there's things I can see, maybe cycles play out in the generations, where I can see sometimes the way I handle things with her or the way I talk to her, I can see, was things that went on with me and my mum. I love my mum. She's amazing. But just certain things I'm thinking, and like my daughter said to me, just in certain ways, sometimes you can be so controlling, or sometimes, don't tell me what to do, because she wants to figure things out in herself. And then my mum irritated me the other day. I love you, mum. I totally love you, but said something to me the other day and I'm like, oh my God. And I got triggered and I'm like, far out, this is what I'm doing to my daughter. And I can see just simple things, right? Like simple things, like nothing bad. But, and I'm like, why haven't I got the point yet? I've been trying to work on this for such a long time and I keep, doing this same thing. I'm done. Like I really need to make some changes in that area. So it can be things like that, like simple things, or it can be some hard lessons that you've seen kind of play out that you need to change moving forward. And And what I kind of come to realize was I'm seeing these things happen with people around me. I'm seeing them happen in the community. And I've also seen through talking to people and felt in myself this bit of excitement stirring, like this bit of, I know what I want to do next year. I've got some plans for next year. I've got some goals for next year. I've got some visions for next year. And I'm seeing in myself as I've been sitting in this in-between period. And if you go back to a couple of episodes ago, I talk about like endings and completion of cycles. And I talk a little bit more about that snake year and horse year and what come up in the women's circle. But I felt like I've been sitting in this in-between. But as I've gotten closer to the end of the year, right, I'm seeing some opportunities have started to line up that reflect my vision, reflect my dream, through chance meetings that I've had with people, through nudges that I felt I needed to take through maybe talking to someone, or, go here today, don't go there. Just little things that have popped into my head, and I've followed on that, and I've had like chance meetings with people. I've had opportunities line up. I've had interactions starting to develop with some people, aligning with some people that will be amazing for the future growth of my brand. So I'm seeing things kind of start to trickle in, almost like they're setting the stage for the next year. So I kind of feel this bit of excitement, but also a little bit of messiness in my head, and a little bit of, I just need a bit more clarity. And then I've looked back at the lesson. So I'm kind of sitting in this in-between period, but I'm feeling this energy start to shift now towards excitement. And let me share with you a card. I start the episode with this. Let me share with you a card that I pulled this morning, right? And this portal oracle deck, the Oracle of Portals, it's called. I pulled card 33, Transformation. I've been seeing 33 everywhere. And Deb, if you're listening to this, one of my beautiful clients who listens to all my episodes, has been seeing 33 and sent me a number plate of a 333 everywhere. And Sally, my business coach, loves the 33 as well. And this card represents transformation, right? And I'm going to read this whole card because it's not a long one, but I think it will resonate with you. And it said, you must let go of who you believe you are before you know who you're becoming. This process can be painful in many ways, but perhaps most of all because you are uncertain of what the future brings. Like a butterfly in a cocoon, you may feel confined, exhausted, confused, and in the dark. Still, a part of you knows that what you're going through is essential for your evolution. It's interesting to note that we often see artistic images and decorations featuring butterflies gliding through the air, wings gloriously spread. Caterpillars we see less often. And least often of all, we see images of the metamorphosis, when a caterpillar is no longer a caterpillar and not yet a butterfly. This is us right now, girls, I'm sure, when you're kind of sitting in that metamorphosis. Then it says, and yet without this vital and miraculous metamorphosis period, there would be no butterflies. You are in such a vital and miraculous period right now where you're creating or moving towards a new state of being. It can be tempting to discount the beauty and magic of the present moment as you look ahead to the future you desire. Instead, make a point of celebrating the whole journey. Once you've fully transformed, you will look back on this period and fondness and admiration for yourself. Cultivate these feelings now so you can bolster your mood and morale as you move through even the most uncomfortable of changes. If a large number of unknowns currently cloud your future, see if you can release your attachment to the outcome and surrender to the flow of life. It's natural to want things to unfold in a certain way, but when you let go of trying to control things you can't control, you create space for divine wisdom and power to flow in. You get out of your way enough to throw open the door to luck, miracles, and divine intervention. You can lend even more power to your present transformation if you regularly contemplate just how blessed and fortunate you already are, while also considering the sheer volume of potential, unexpected windfalls that at any moment will come your way. Even if it doesn't seem like it, this is a magical time of great blessings. You will certainly emerge from this portal with spectacular wings on which you will happily soar. And I don't know about you, but that's exactly how I have been feeling at the moment. Like I'm sitting in this metamorphosis type period. And even, I know the last couple of months, it's almost like, especially since Bali in October, I feel like I've got my power a bit in terms of my beliefs. I felt my beliefs starting to shift around who I am and what I want and what I offer, and having this faith in myself and really feeling proud of myself, and I guess just feeling the strength in what I offer, and just this newfound confidence for this next stage of my journey. So you may have been feeling that too, whether it's been showing up in a little bit of confidence or a little bit of self-empowerment, whether it's been showing up in ways of I'm done thinking like that. This is how I want to start to think, and how I want to look at myself, and how I want to believe in myself, and how I want to carry myself. You may have been feeling that little bit of a shift coming through, where you're kind of stepping into that that new stage of just feeling that I can back myself. I can be comfortable to be who I am. I can be my authentic self. I can be proud of who I am. I can soar. I can help people. All the things. Like, I want you to start thinking about how amazing you are and what you offer, and really back yourself and believe in yourself, and know that what you've been through has been part of this transformation, has been part of this metamorphosis journey, right? And in this other card, I pulled 2 cards this morning. They were for me, but I went, nope, this is for my audience as well. Funny, this card also, I'll just read a snippet of it, talks about caterpillars and butterflies, and this metamorphosis period, right? It says the soul blueprint is the original spiritual plan for our development. It is the innate guiding wisdom within each being that knows what it is meant to be. An example is the intelligence within a caterpillar, who knows how to move with patience and process, transforming into the butterfly. The original and purposeful wisdom of our true nature is life-changing and can dissolve the inherited pains and psychological struggles and the projections from others which may have been influencing us over the years. They cease to have an effect. Under the influence of this new frequency, we embrace who we really are. So if you feel disoriented or conflicted about a choice, trust that this chaos is a consequence of cosmic realignment within your life path. Move through it with trust in your heart, patience, and a willingness to keep the faith, knowing you will eventually find your way. This adjustment taking place within you will affect your outer world. Just like the tumultuous alchemy journey of the caterpillar transforming into the butterfly, your beautiful transformation shall shape you and your world into the beautiful, inspired, and authentic form it is meant to be. So girls, if you have had a challenging year, if you have had conflict, if you have had chaos, if you have felt like so much has been happening in your world and you've just hit a wall and you're so tired and exhausted and fatigued and uncertain, just know that this has been part of the process. This has been like that cosmic realignment to realign you for what's coming, to help you step up into your power, to help you I look at it like it's almost like it's like this kind of realigning these pieces, realigning certain things in your life, ready for what's meant to unfold. I mean, I even had it this morning, like I had something hit me this morning. I'm like, I thought that, like a certain collaboration was going ahead and it stopped. I just, am having a chat with a person at the moment, and I'm like, I didn't see this coming, but I feel, for both of us, I feel this is okay. Like this is good. We've both got things we're meant to be working on. And it's almost like this, I guess, cosmic realignment for both of us. Okay. So, and I'm just trusting in the journey. I'm just trusting in, we did some things together that were amazing and were great for both of us. But maybe in this next stage, we need to focus on our own parts a little bit. And I'm just trusting in the process. And yes, it feels uncomfortable. Yes, I was upset. Yes, I'm like, why is this happening? But I'm just trusting in the process. So that's what I want you to try and feel, is hold the faith in whatever has been happening is happening for your highest good, for your realignment. Whether it's changes in your job, whether it's a breakup, whether it's friendship breakdowns, whether it's money struggles, which are going to push you in another direction, whether it's, like things that have been happening in your health and wellness that are going to make you reassess and do things differently, whether it's, feeling like even this morning, this last couple of weeks, I can be honest with you guys, I have just been feeling like the best in myself, but physically been feeling like, my body's been changing, feeling like a bit shit in myself, if I'm perfectly honest. And then I had somebody message me this morning who saw a story that I posted with these LSKD oversized shirts that I've been wearing, saying, "You looking amazing," and like the little hot emojis, like you're looking so good. And a few people have said that lately. And I'm like, you can feel things in yourself, but other people don't see that. And you can feel like, but it's also stirring up in me to go, I really need to sort this out next year. I really need a little bit of clarity and a bit of take some different actions next year. So if things are unsettled in you, if things are stirring up where you just feel a bit not great in yourself, or you feel a bit challenged in yourself, or you feel like you've been hit with things, I want you to try and find the silver lining, and I want you to try and see and learn from that. Have awareness, right? Have awareness around, where do I need help in my life? Where am I maybe blocking, support from people? Where am I maybe feeling like I'm sick of certain things in my life, whether it's in your body or whether it's in your work or whatever comes up, your finances, whatever comes up for you, just have awareness. How am I sick of feeling in that area of my life? Maybe you feel like you have to do it all, like you have to show up as the perfect mom, you have to do everything. You're over the pressure. Maybe you're over the facade of being like this perfect woman and putting so much pressure on yourself, a perfectionist that, maybe you feel like you have to do everything because nobody does it as good as you. Maybe past experiences have happened in your life that have made you feel a little bit guarded or a little bit protected, where you've pushed other people away. And so you feel like you can't trust people. Maybe you're feeling that you're so busy, like you're just so busy and overwhelmed, and you've been using busyness as an excuse to keep you safe, because it's kind of helped keep you in your comfort zone. It stopped you from taking risks. It stopped you from working out. It stopped you from allowing yourself to face challenging situations, or getting out of your comfort zone, or keeping you safe and small and blocking you from your growth. And you use busyness as an excuse. Like, I'll give you a funny example. I was chatting with a good friend of mine. She probably listens to this. She's going to hear it. She's a client, friend, has a business, an amazing business as well. And I was chatting with her at an event, and she said, I find myself always cleaning up my knicker drawer. And she's got some goals for her business, but she said, I find myself cleaning up my knicker drawer or tidying up wardrobes or doing things that I'm keeping myself busy in my day. And I said to her, I feel like when you get excited about something, like, let's just talk about business. When you're excited about your business and you're motivated and you're so excited to create your work, and you're so excited by, you've got so many things coming up, and you really want to get creative, and you just, find yourself wanting to write, wanting to create, wanting to podcast, or wanting to write down new ideas. And you're getting busy putting things into action. You don't give a fuck about your knicker drawer because you're so focused on what you're doing. I said, maybe this is a sign for you. Come on, let's kind of join forces a little bit and kind of, get into this network of women where we really, this business women network, where we really kind of fire each other up. We stay connected, we stay accountable, we keep chatting with each other. Because then when we're so focused on our goals and focused on what we want to do moving forward, on what lights us up, we don't care about tidying the knicker drawer, so it can be like all of those little things fluffing around at home, which, yes, girls, they need to be done, but at what extent? Some things can wait. Some things don't need to be tidied up every single day, but they keep you in the familiar. They keep you in the comfort. They keep you in your safety zone, because you find yourself going, oh, I don't have time to work out, or I don't have time to do this, or I'm running out of time to, work on what I want to work on, because you're keeping yourself safe in your little mundane tasks that are not going to move the needle, girls. So I'll leave that with you. You sit with that. And I even find sometimes, I'm so excited about what I want to work on next year. I've got all of these lists, all these ideas that have been sitting with me for a long time. I'm like, I need to implement them, right? And I've been thinking about a couple of things. Like, I love cooking. I really love cooking, but I feel at the moment I don't care about it so much, because I'm focused on what I want to do. I'm excited about what I want to do, what I want to build, that for a period, it's like my energy doesn't want to cook because it's getting in the way of what I want to build. But I know I want to have it for my household, for my family, but I'm feeling resentful towards cooking and I'm not cooking properly anyway. So I thought, okay, maybe I just need to outsource that for a little period, or maybe I need to get a little bit of help with that. Maybe I just need to ask the family, like, let's restructure things. Talk to my husband. This is what I'm working on. I need a little bit, he's good anyway, but let's just really work together a bit more of a team. Then I'll cook again when things settle down, but I'm in a burst, like I'm in a bit of a period of where I kind of want to go, if that makes sense. So I just want you to have awareness around all of those things and ask yourself the question, like, am I blocking support? Am I feeling like I have to do everything? Because mums, you feel like you have to do it all, right? We feel like we have to be this kind of perfect housewife, mum, business owner, wife, partner, caregiver, and we've got to do everything, but something at times needs to give. And sometimes it could be just asking for support, asking for help, hiring a cleaner. Like, I know amazing people who have big businesses and have felt this way. And I feel like just having chats with them, I'm like, why aren't you getting support at home? And I think a cleaner would just help you to get rid of the stuff that you want the result of, right? Like, you want the result of having a clean home, you want it neat and tidy, but you don't want to do it yourself. Or you do it yourself, but then it comes at a cost of spending time with your partner, spending time with your kids, taking self-care for yourself. So getting to the end of this year, having a bit of clarity around what's important, where do I want to spend my time, and what can I give up? Because when you feel like I have to do it all, you actually block support from the universe. Like, when you say to yourself, I can do it all myself, you send this message to the universe that I don't need help. I can do everything myself. I've got everything covered, that you like put this barrier up. Whereas when you release the barrier and you say, okay, I'm open to receive. I'm open to receive support. I'm open to doing things a different way. I'm open to looking at things through a different perspective. I'm open to new ideas. I'm open to creativity. I'm open to flow. Universe, please send me some ideas. Please send me some inspiration. Please send me some people, some opportunities, so that life can flow with a little bit more breath for me, that life can flow with a little bit more ease and grace, so I can achieve more of what I want, so I can enjoy my life a bit more, so I can enjoy spending time with my family. And yes, I know it raises questions sometimes, like, how am I going to afford it? What do I, how am I going to be able to do this? And I'm sitting with things like that at the moment. There's some big things I want to work on. And I'm sitting with that feeling of, how am I going to afford to do that? And I ask myself, I don't want to sit with the block or the limitation of I can't afford it. I want to think about so I'm reframing my question, how can I be the person that can afford this support? How can I be the person that can get some help for my family or for my business? And so I don't block myself with thinking I can't afford it, I can't afford a cleaner, I can't afford to do this, I can't afford to buy that, I can't afford to invest in my business. I reframe it and I open myself up to support from the universe, and I say, how can I be the person that can afford this? How can I have resources or people or opportunities or come into my life that can help me support my vision and my dreams and my desires and my goals? And I start to change my inner resources first. I start to change my inner beliefs. I start to change my expectancy, and I start to change my energy first. And I open myself up to receive that support from the universe. And sometimes I get creative and I'll write down in my journal, how can I afford this? Instead of instantly blocking yourself. And that's what most of us do. We put like the stop sign up immediately and go, I can't do this. I can't afford this. I question you to get creative and go, how can I afford this? And open yourself up by writing down or feeling, I have unlimited resources. I have unlimited potential. The universe supports me. The universe gives me people, opportunities, money, abundance to support my desires. So starting to reframe your beliefs will open yourself up to maybe think a little bit differently in how you can get more support in these areas of your life. And I also started to think, like in terms of my goals, in terms of what I wanted to work on moving forward for my business, in terms of my goals for my family and what I want to have in my life and what I want to be, do, become, and achieve, I started thinking to myself, because I'm sitting in this period of uncertainty, it's sitting in this kind of in between, and I'm looking at what I want to do moving forward, and I'm sitting with this excitement slash terror, excitement slash, oh my gosh, like these fears are popping in. And I started to think, what would I do? How would I feel? What would I regret if I was on my deathbed, right? I think of things randomly, like in different ways, but I think if I got to my deathbed and I didn't give this a go, would I regret it? And I'm thinking about my life at the moment, not only my business, about spending time with my family and loved ones, and thinking, would I regret not spending enough time with my parents, with my kids, with my husband? Chances are I might, right? So I need to do things a little bit different next year. I started thinking like, and you might think that my kids have outgrown this stage, but you might be thinking, like, how would I feel? Would I regret not spending enough time with my kids, or being at their events, or doing the school things, or going to the after school sport, because I'm so consumed in work, or I'm so consumed in other things that I'm not spending enough time with my kids? How can I shuffle things around next year to get some support like that? You might be feeling like you're missing pleasure and joy in life, and not having fun, and not exploring and adventuring, and just feel like you're living in this mundane. Ask the question, if I got to my deathbed, how would I feel? Would I look back in life and go, damn, life was boring. Damn, I wish I had have done these things. I wish I got out of my comfort zone. I wish I had more fun. I wish I was more playful. I wish I unleashed my inner wild woman. I wish I traveled. I wish I spent more time with my kids on holidays while they were with me. Ask yourself, did I neglect? Would I regret neglecting taking care of myself? Would I regret neglecting having more just fun life experiences and just seeing the beauty in life, the sun on your skin, all those beautiful things, because you were so wrapped up in stress, in overwhelm, in guilt, in pressure, in, surviving instead of thriving? Would you feel like that if you got to your deathbed? Would you feel that you look back on your life and go, man, I should have taken that risk. I should have taken the leap. I should have backed myself, but I gave up because I just felt it was too hard, or I felt like I didn't have enough belief in myself, or I felt like I didn't have the money and I didn't even try to find it, or I had these dreams but thought, who am I to achieve those dreams? So I buried them. I didn't take the leap. I didn't get out of my comfort zone. I didn't take the risk. And then I spent my whole life reacting to life, and got to the end in my deathbed and looked back and gone, I wish I had have taken a chance on myself. I wish I had got out of my comfort zone. That's how I think, and that's how I want to encourage you to think, because time goes, girls, time flies. Like, I'm sitting here now at 47. I go, where did that time go when my kids were little, and now they're 19 and 21 and doing their own thing? And there's not a lot that I regret, but now I'm starting to think of this next stage of my life, and I'm getting uncomfortable again about what I want. And I'm thinking, would I regret not taking a few more chances? Would I regret not spending more time with my parents as they get older? Would I regret not spending more time with my extended family? Maybe, because I'm focused a lot on what I'm doing. So this goes for your work, for your family life, for your relationships, for your health and wellness. I want you to ask some deep questions around, what would I regret if I got to the end of my life and I didn't do those things? Just sit with that, and that helps give you a little bit of clarity as to what you need to do moving forward. And also think about the way you've been living at the moment, like the way you've been living over the last kind of 9-year cycle, the last few years, or just this year, or the last 6 months, like the way I've been doing things, the way I've been showing up, my beliefs, my mindset, my habits, how's it affecting my relationships? Like, for instance, if you've been so overwhelmed, you've been so stressed, you've been so busy, you feel like, man, I'm just snappy all the time at home with my partner, with my kids. I'm a cranky wife. I'm a cranky mum. I'm sick of having health problems. I'm sick of feeling resentful with things that I haven't done yet and blaming other people. All of those things block you, and they hold you back. You might be feeling like, I'm sick of not having belief in myself, and I'm blocking myself from achieving my dreams because I'm staying stagnant. I'm staying small. I'm staying stuck in my mindset. Like, I'm staying stuck in my comfort zone. I want you to think about the negative impact that your habits or your beliefs or your mindset or the things you've been doing in these last few years or this last 12 months or 6 months. Where are you sitting at now where you can see it's had a negative impact in your life, and you need to change it moving forward? So I know I've thrown a lot at you in the last kind of bit, but I want to share with you now something that I did, some ideas to help. Okay, so I've been thinking about all of that as we get to the end of the year, moving into this next cycle, and just really thinking how I can get some support and some help. I took out a notebook. I bought myself a brand new big notebook, not a journal. I feel like I've got a workbook workbook where I want to keep my working ideas in. Then I've got my journal for just kind of journaling personal stuff. And in this workbook, I just had a feeling, I headed it up. I thought about it and thought, what do I want and what do I not want anymore, okay? So I broke this down into a couple of pages. I had a page for like my home, my personal. I had a page for my Earthy Angels studio. I had a page for my Earthy Angels brand, my business, because that's a lot I'm thinking about next year as well. And I had a page like for my retreats, for instance. So I started with that. And I wrote down, because there's a lot of things that I do that I'm actually really happy with. And there's a lot of things that need to change. So I'll give you an example. Like I wrote down for my home and personal, what I want to do, highlighted. Then I wrote down at the second bottom half of the page, what I don't want to do myself, okay? So I wrote down like what I want to do, like time with my family, seeing my parents and my family more, cooking. I do really love cooking. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I do. But yeah, I want more time to do that without feeling like it's a chore. I want more planning and organization for my family, for my groceries, for my meal prep, managing my finances better. I've been a bit slack with that. I want more holidays, quarterly, more weekends away, overseas again, like just with me and Tom and the family like we used to do. Planning my yearly calendar to manage and get support to manage and support my expansion and growth. I've been a terrible planner. I need to get really good at this for me to grow next year and beyond. I wrote down I'm happy with my spiritual rituals, like my self-care time, but I want to do more consistent workouts at home. The reno that we're doing, I want to, I want to help Tom a bit more and have the ideas. But then there's also things that I don't want to do, and I wrote down about that as well. I want to attend an annual retreat. It's something that I run retreats, but I want to go away for myself on retreat. I want to have like this extended holiday with like my mom, my dad, my siblings, and more long weekends away. So I wrote down like all these things that I do want to have. Then I started to write down like what I don't want to do myself. And some of these I'll just use an example. Like I do have a cleaner. But like, I don't want to clean my house, but I want the results of a clean and tidy home. So that's support with the family. I don't want to do yard work. Some people love it and that's fine. That's your thing. It's not my thing. I love being outside. I love being out in nature. I don't want to mow the lawn. I don't find any satisfaction in that. Like my mom used to love it. We had a 10-acre property. She used to enjoy getting out on the ride-on mower. That's fine. If you love getting out and doing it, that's amazing. I don't mind a bit of gardening, but I don't want to take care of the yard work. And I don't want Tom to have to either because he wants to focus on a few things as well. And I just wrote down like funny story. I know this is ridiculous. I wrote it down. I don't want to buy things like electricals. The day I was writing this, the previous day, I was walking through the Good Guys. We needed a new washing machine. I'm walking through the Good Guys with this shitty attitude of, earmuffs, girls. I'm like, I don't want to be fucking walking around looking for a washing machine. I don't care about a fucking washing machine. I just want a washing machine to wash my clothes. This is annoying me. I'm looking at like 100 different washing machines. I actually don't care. I'm getting frustrated looking at them and going, I don't care about all these things. And I was walking around getting so angry and I went, I don't want to do this kind of stuff, but yeah, I want to have a washing machine and I want to have clean clothes and I just want one that works, but I do not care about this stuff. And again, some of you might like it and love buying appliances. I hate appliances. Tom couldn't go in this particular day. He likes that kind of stuff. I don't, but I'm like, I don't want to do these things. Anyway, I digress. And then I wrote down like, for things in my studio, how I want to show up. Like I love teaching. I want to come and teach and I love the women's circles. I love writing content for socials and showing up for my community, having community, like all these things I want to do. But I felt like I've been at capacity and I haven't done them. Like I want to do more community things. I want to have more events. There's things I want to run in the studio and I haven't done them yet, but I wrote down all the things that I want. I love the podcast. I love podcasting. I love the creative ideas. I love chatting with you guys and inspiring you guys. I love motivating. I love teaching. I love sharing with my community and audience. I love interacting with people. I love, what else did I write? I can't even read my writing. The big picture plan. I love having the big picture and kind of thinking about retreats and the intentions of what I want to have and visioning for the year. But there's certain things I don't want to do anymore that I have been doing. I don't want to send out newsletters, I don't want to plan I want to write content, but I don't want to do all the socials. I'm doing everything. I don't want to deal with like staff, but I love my staff. But, like with roster changes and timetable changes and things like that, or like payroll, and I want a new software program. I've over the one I've been using, but I know the work involved in doing a new software program, and it's just made me think, oh, and I just keep putting it to the back burner. I want it, but I don't want to actually do it myself, right? Creating like the mundane socials that, not mundane, but, like if something just, it's a regular thing that has to come out of an upcoming event, I just want someone to do all of that stuff. Like I wrote down all of these different things and ideas that I've had, and how I need some support with those things. Then like for my actual like business, like I want to have that big picture vision, be the founder, podcast, film content, record meditations, like speak at events, like all the things I wrote down that I want to do. But then what I don't want to do, I actually don't want to put the podcast together. I want to share, but then offload it to someone else. So I got clarity in writing down all, like the things that I want to do and what I don't want to do across different areas of my life. It is so helpful, girls, if you do that. Get clarity around that for the end of this year. Write down what particular areas of your life, everyone's areas will be different. We're all at different stages, but you'll know what areas. And write down what I don't want to do anymore, what I want to do, and what I don't want to do myself. But you still might like the result of it, so it has to be done, like a clean home, but you don't want to clean it yourself. So just start getting a bit of clarity around that and look back at the last year and go, what's been working? What's not working? What am I sick of doing? And because that's how I started to feel. I felt like there's things in my business that have to be done, but I'm doing it all myself. And that's my fault, right? Like I need to outsource things. I need to get support. I need to get help. I need to find a way to pay for more help. All of those things are going through my head as I get to the end of the year, because I feel this stirring of the changes that I want to make next year, of the impact that I want to have, of the brand expansion that I want to have, of things that I've, neglected, that I've been bad at, that it just all becomes too much sometimes, that I go, I know the results I want. I know how I want it to flow. I know what I want it to look like, but I just need some help, because I know sometimes when I get exhausted, I get fatigued, I feel like a bit of deer in headlights, and it just becomes all overwhelming, and I just go far out. Like, how do I do this moving forward? And I can just stop and not do it and put it to the back burner. But my growth hasn't been where I want it to be. But I also understand I've needed this plateau period, or I've needed this period to work on myself spiritually, so that I can be the leader that I need to be to go into my business in the next phase. So sit with that a little bit as well, and think about what there might have been a period that was needed in this transformation phase, in this year, this reshuffling, this reorganization, this realigning. Some things might have happened for you, not to you, for you to grow, for you to learn from, for you to gain strength in, to gain clarity in, for the contrast, to know what you don't want so you know what you do want. So when you look at it like that and you go, I'm grateful for what's been, I'm grateful for the lessons, I can't change what has been, I trust in what needs to happen, what needs to unfold moving forward, and I just let go and I surrender, and I'll go with the flow, and I will go with the unfolding, knowing it's for my highest good. And some things that you can do to help, girls, is start your morning. Do that exercise. Number one, do that exercise that I just shared with you. I put on my podcast, my last one, this list that I've got. I'll link it to this one as well. Raising my vibration playlist. And I put it on in the morning and I listen to it, and it shifts my energy when I'm driving around, or when I'm, cooking and getting some stuff ready in the kitchen of a morning, doing breakfast, or pop it in my AirPods while I'm doing chores. I don't like to start my morning first up with a podcast. It's just me. I don't like listening to the radio. If I drive to the studio early morning, I want some music. I either want nothing, listen to absolutely nothing. I can totally drive and listen to nothing. And sometimes I wind my window down and listen to the birds as I drive out through the cane fields. Or I don't want to listen to shit on the radio. It just does my head in. I want to listen to something that's going to shift my energy, and something that feels good and is going to shift my vibration. And I'll listen to uplifting music or calming music to start my morning. If I'm at home, I might just sit out and watch the sunrise, or just have a raw cacao, and I start my day in silence and start my day with peace. Like, that would be the number one thing that I would recommend every woman do, even if it is just 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Do not get on your phone. Start with a little bit of quiet. We do it on retreat all the time. The girls fall in love with it. So be mindful of how you start your morning. You may have spiritual rituals that you like to do with the meditation or with a little bit of movement, or, saging, or a little bit of yoga, or just watching the sunrise, or just finding that little bit of peace, that little bit of mindfulness, or your raw cuppa, whatever it is for you, some kind of rituals. Really make sure you're doing your rituals, especially now as we go into this busy period, go into this Christmas period. Take time for self-care, because the more you take a little bit of time out for the busyness, you let go of the perfection, you have this awareness around what's working, what's not working, and you just give yourself space for the answers to come through, okay? And you just give yourself space and time to, don't feel like you have to go to every event. Don't feel like you have to say yes to everything. Enjoy staying at home a little bit. Enjoy doing a bit of nothing. Enjoy laying by your pool, or going out for beach walks, or go to the beach, or go on a bushwalk. Do something to connect you with nature. Do something to have some fun, and give yourself time this December to set up your January. Two examples to shift your vibration. We went out last weekend. I had such a busy few weeks, and we went out. Tom said, let's go out in the jet ski. Early morning, we met some friends. We did a lap around Stradbroke Island. So we went out through the pin, and I thought to myself, I am going to see dolphins today. I pulled a card that morning. I was just 44 on the clock. As I said, I pulled a card. I pulled a card that morning, and it said, reset your energy. So this is how I reset my energy. It doesn't have to be through spiritual rituals. It can be through fun. So we decided, let's go out in the jet ski. It was a beautiful sunny morning. We met friends, and we were like, yep, I'm going to see dolphins today. And I had this feeling, I'm going to see a baby dolphin. I'm going to see dolphins today. We went out to the ocean, like 600 meters offshore, did it's quite a few Ks down Stratty, back in at the Gold Coast Seaway, went for a swim, floated in the ocean, saw pods of dolphins, saw baby dolphins, sat out there in the peace with the sun just sparkling on the water like diamonds. It was heaven. We laughed, we had fun, we had adrenaline, we had speed, we wave jumped, we swam. And I just felt so damn good. We come back, friends, come up the jetty, park their jet ski. We had breakfast together out on the deck, had the most beautiful morning. It was just a few hours. We're done by 10 a.m., right? Had the most beautiful time out, and I felt so freaking good. Just getting out in nature, getting out in the salt water, having fun, seeing my dolphins, just hanging out with my husband, hanging out with friends. I just felt so just so much more at peace, calm, and just happy. And it shifted my energy, because I was feeling exhausted. I was feeling overwhelmed. I was feeling busy. That's what you can do. The most simplest thing you can do to shift your energy is go have some fun. And as we go into this Christmas period, go have some fun. Give yourself time and space for self-care, for joy, for just doing what you need. Get into the studio, move your body, because just those little moments of slow, peaceful, intuitive movement help stimulate creativity, help get you connected to your intuition, but they just reset your nervous system. And most people just stop at things like that because it gets too hard and they're too busy, and they give up on all the things that are actually good for them. Get into some mindful movement. It is going to help you so much. And the other thing I just did this morning, right? I'm a bit bad with I actually can be very organized, but with my big visioning planning, I can be good. But I need to map out the year a bit better, and I need to get a little bit better with some planning and with some strategy. And that's something I'm working on next year, right? We can't be good at everything. So I stumbled across somebody this morning who is doing a workshop, just an online workshop, and it's about setting up your December, setting your year up. And I went, yep, made a quick decision, did it, enrolled, and it's an online thing booked in for next Tuesday that I'm just going to jump on. He's a powerhouse speaker, and it's all around setting your year up in December. Don't wait to January to set your year up. Get your clarity in December. Start making plans in December. Map out your year for January. And I went, I actually need to do that. I know I need to do that. Yeah, it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, but I'm excited by it, right? Because I know I'm going to have a better year, and I'm going to have this. I know where I've been a little bit lacking. Some things I've had a vision in my heart and my soul around, like I said with this house, grass, sand, water was what I saw for years and years and years. And I've had that, right? We attracted that. But there's things in my bigger picture vision that I'm like, and it's 1:11 on the clock, 1:11 p.m. I know, thank you, universe, you're telling me I need to clean this up. That I haven't been that great at the strategy and the organization, and it's a co-creation, right? Everything you want to manifest, everything that you want to create, it's a co-creation with the universe. You can't just wish it. There's definitely things that have happened in my life that have come true, but I know that everything you do, it takes aligned action on your part. So I need to take some actions to have my best next year yet, and to help me really structure. I know I can't achieve my goals and my visions and all the pictures that I have in my head if I don't get some structured plan, and if I don't prioritize holidays in my calendar, if I don't prioritize family time, if I don't put all these things and map out my year. That's what I've enrolled in to do next Tuesday, which I'm excited about, and it's just going to help me. I know it's going to help me, and that's where this December period comes in good, right? To set your year up. Most people wait to hit the gym for January. Do it now while you're on that little bit of a break period. Like, get your momentum going now. Start feeling good now rather than waiting till January or wait till the kids go back to school. And then before you know it, February's passed, right? Start some things you know you need to start now, and get some habits set in place now that are going to lead you towards your goals. And girls, as I wrap this up, like, just getting to the end of 2025, just understanding that it's made you strong. It's made you who you are. I feel like it's been this strength, like going into 2026 is when we use that strength to step into our power. We've learned through the lessons, we've grown, we have evolved, we have shifted. It's going to give us more clarity. Accept where you are now. Have a bit of gratitude for where you are now, even though there's been hard things. We can't control everything. Some things are out of our control. But what we can do is just focus on the now. Sit with the now. Do all those little things that I've been talking to you about in this podcast episode, and understand that this year has made you strong, and you're going to use that strength to step into your power next year with more clarity, with more intention. And I'll probably do another episode around more setting up your intentions. But I just wanted you to get a little bit of clarity now around where you need support, what's working, what's not working, and how you can go into this next year just with momentum with this horse year, but also with more clarity and more just living the life you want to live, girls. And when you write these things down, like by me sitting here and writing down what I want and what I don't want, sends a message to the universe, puts it in writing. It's like you're putting this little bit of intention out there. And I really trust and believe that when you write your intentions down, you get clarity on them. The universe conspires to make it happen. Your subconscious knows what you want, and your subconscious helps attract circumstances, people, situations to align the things that you want for you. It's like a little radar gets turned on where you kind of tune into what you know you need and block out what you don't, but you've got to get clarity first. So do this exercise at the end of the year. Give yourself some time and space as we wrap up the end of the year for some self-care, for some joy, for some fun. And know, like this card that I pulled around the transformation, around the butterfly, that things are rearranging for your highest good, for your best self to emerge as we go into this new year. Have a beautiful rest of your day, angels. And I will see you in the next episode. So much love to you, girls. Bye.